Good morning, Mr. CEO. Thank you for engaging us to help you with your problems. Thank you for giving us time and discussing and answering all our questions. And finally, thank you for your time today as we are going through our presentation. Without any further ado, let me dive straight into the topic. We've tried to understand the context by understanding the situation. We do understand that WECem has been the leading manufacturer in Western Europe, enjoying a healthy EBITDA at 67%, and the price of the cement in the region on an average has been quite stable over the years. However, there is a complication that has come up because of fierce competition, particularly in Region 1 and Region 2, by German traders who are infiltrating with poor quality products at far lesser price, which has seen 25% and 15% drop in sales in Region 1 and 2. And WECem fears to lose close to half of their customers in 1 to 2 years' time if we do not react now. Now, the key question is, how can we arrest this business loss as soon as possible? We've tried to derive some heading questions from the key question and then some hypotheses. The first heading question is, are all the products, which means 25, 35, and 50 kgs, doing equally bad in all the regions? Our hypothesis is no. Is it only price-sensitive customers that WECem is losing? Our hypothesis says yes. Can we enter into a price war with the German intruders? Our hypothesis says no. We cannot enter into a direct price war. Can a fighter brand stem the rot? Our hypothesis is yes. A fighter brand is a valid option. And finally, is it possible to increase the price of any product in the region? Our hypothesis is yes, it is possible. Now, I'll try to get into each of these hypotheses and then try to gather evidences through analysis. For the first, not all the products are doing bad. And when we analyze by region and products, we see in Region 1, it is 2.4 million euro estimated loss. Sales have fallen 26 and 23% for the 25 and 35 kg bag respectively. There is negligible change in sales mix. But Region 2 is very important, given that the estimated loss is almost double to that of Region 1. But a key thing to note here is that 25 kg bag sales have gone up by 45% in the last 1 year. And the sales of 50 kg bag has fallen by 36%. There is significant change in the sales mix. In Region 3, the data has not been shared. We presume that all products are doing reasonably well and it's not affected. The primary goal is to identify the products and regions where we can affect some pricing changes. Of course, there are some risks, but the logic is 25 kg bags is doing great in the region, in Region 2 and Region 3, and is very unlikely to be affected in the short term. Now, WECem is losing mostly price-sensitive customers. And as we do an analysis, as also the data that you have provided us, we see that price is the driving factor for the customers who have partially or completely switched. Now, the hypothesis that we had met is WECem cannot enter into a price war. It is critical to understand the primary goal for this hypothesis is to safeguard the brand equity of WECem. The main risk that it has is price reduction across the board will destroy profits in the short term. It will destroy brand equity in the long term. It might also kickstart a domino effect in the unaffected regions. The logic behind it is entering into an all-out price war will be detrimental to the brand in the long run. The fifth hypothesis is it is possible to increase the price of flagship products in Region 2 and Region 3. The primary goal is to marginally increase I repeat, marginally, the prices of flagship products in region 2 and 3 to offset some losses in short term. The main risk is it might trigger some losses in unaffected regions. But the logic strongly says that 25 kg bags is doing great in region 2 and region 3. It is very unlikely to be affected in the short term. And most importantly, the fighter brand introduction will reinforce. Now, introduction of fighter brand may stem the loss. We have said that this is a strong hypothesis, but there are very important things to note. There are some inherent risks in this. There are evidences in the past, and I've given few in the reference section, which says about what has happened several business cases where we have seen that it might not have worked, and in some it has worked. Now, the primary goal of introduction of a fighter brand is a fighter brand is designed to combat and ideally eliminate the German competition. It will protect WECem's premium price offerings. And third, and most important, not most, but it is also important, is that it might open up lower end market for organization to pursue in future. Now, one of the things that we must also understand is the DNA of a fighter brand is potentially is basically flawed, because from the very outset, it is derived from the company deficiencies and competitor strength, not a focus on consumers. So as we see what the risks are, there is cannibalization risks, which means it might start eating away the market share of its sister brands. What if it fails to bury the competition? There could be financial losses, missing the mark with customers. They might get confused with the perceived quality, and management distraction. If it starts picking up, management might be distracted. So we should also keep that in our mind. Some of the mitigation things that we must keep in our mind is low perceived quality. So fighter brand must have low perceived quality. We should deliberately lessen the value, appeal, and accessibility of the fighter brand. We should withhold standard marketing support. It should maintain a positive contribution margin, and it should be continuously monitored. Now, we've tried to understand some of the product comparison. Give me a moment. We'll try to understand some of the product comparisons. And we've seen that WECem is certainly better in quality with a CE and NF mark, has superior packaging services, more attractive to quality conscious customers. As we see the inferior craft paper packaging with no NF mark, and it has affected only region 1 and region 2. So here comes our recommendations. And please note that these recommendations are numbered in order of importance. Introduction of fighter brand. Quality. It should be introduced with low perceived quality, inferior packaging and services, matching the German offering. It should be independent of WECem umbrella brand. It should undercut the German pricing, but must have a positive contribution margin. Our target customers, should be restricted, and the accessibility should be restricted, like I've said in the earlier slide. So it should be only available to partially and fully switching wholesalers in region 1 and region 2. It should have independent sales force and minimal promotion. Increased advertisement is our second recommendation. We should have persuasive marketing on quality for the flagship products. Increased pricing. Pricing should be increased for the flagship products in region 2 and region 3. Discontinue 50 kg. The primary goal is to free sales force and other resources for fighter brand. There is a risk may see some marginal drop in sales in region 2, but logic is strong here. Sales has fallen 36% for 50 kg bag in region 2. This is aimed at price sensitive customers, and its customers are expected to switch to Fighter brand. Thank you for your time, CEO. Would look forward to hearing back from you. Thank you.